Polana, good to see you. Good to see you, Polana. I appreciate your comment you just left for me. I think that was on YouTube. Or no, it was Twitter. Polana, I saw that. Thank you. All right, guys. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to debate Dark Horse. I'm going to send him an invite right now. So let's get this fired up. Okay, I'm going to debate Dark Horse on XRP. I know you guys have been waiting for this one. So here we go. I just invited him. 200 in the chat. Let's get it lit. Guys, share the stream.
How's it going, Zach?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
What was your name again?
Lee, or Dark Horse, depending on which one you want to call me.
Lee? Okay. Lee, it's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Hi.
So I know a lot of people have been watching your breakdowns of on-demand liquidity. I figured it'd be time to come on and have a chat with you and see what we can discuss here in regards to XRP and cryptocurrencies.
Okay, perfect. Go on, what's your thoughts on what the HODL actually is, Zach?
Well. First off, though, I have to address the fact that you call me an option 3 guy. We got to get into that.
Guy.
We got to explain what that is.
Okay, option 3 guy is basically somebody that believes it's going to go to 10K and higher. The only way that you can actually get there is to have a stable coin or a buyback option based on what's going to be actually available on the market. So the removal of the total circulating supply out of retail hands would then allow the market cap to go up to above $200-300 trillion of market cap, which would then, that's what I'm saying. So 10,000 and above becomes an unavailable and unattainable market cap. The only way you can get to that level of market cap would be is if you took the tokens out of everybody's hands and actually just sold them to your banks, to your companies, and to them individually. Otherwise, the market cap is, because then that means the market cap's irrelevant. So that's an option 3.
See, that's what's funny, though, is that's exactly what Ripple's doing right now, is they're only selling XRP to their on-demand liquidity partners.
Yep.
You know,
so you are an option 3 guy.
But, well, I'm looking at...
Look, Zach, I'll be honest with you. It's not an insultive term. It's not an insulting term, right?
Well, you said that I'm trying to make people FOMO into XRP. I'm not trying to make people FOMO into anything.
Okay.
Right, so, I'm making my content...
1% of 156 trillion was kind of like a FOMO in.
No, it's a look at the numbers. Like, look at the real numbers, do the calculations yourself, because everyone wants to figure out prices. Yeah, right. Everyone wants to figure out how to get rich, right? I mean, what are we doing here, right? If we're not figuring out how to make money, what are we doing here? We're just talking about this, or we're trying to figure out how high it can go or what it can do? Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to invest in the technology that's going to run the financial infrastructure.
I hear that. I do hear that. And the thing is that most of the guys that are actually brought into this, they're sitting here. And the problem you've got with, if you're in option 3, right, and then the market cap goes up to, say, 5 trillion and the tokens are sitting at $100, and then you've got a load of people there sitting on being rich, but they won't actually get out of the actual the investment because they've got a shitload of money in their account right now this minute, but they won't because they're waiting for the $10,000, $100,000. And I mean, to be honest with you, Zach, there's even people out there saying that these tokens could go to $1 million. This is the difference on the influencing side of things. And the problem we've got there is that people are buying 40. They're using the last bit of their money because they're hearing these things on TikTok. So I've had people in my lives go, I've got 20 quid. It was my last 20 quid. I've got no food in the fridge, but I'm going to go put 20 quid on XRP because it's going to go to $1 million. How long do I need to wait? And when's it going to happen? The responsibility of what we're actually teaching people needs to actually lie at us to be able to teach the tech and to say, look, that's probably not going to happen for another 10 years. Go put food in your fridge.
Yeah, but people do that with every crypto. It's not just XRP.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's the major one that everybody FOMOs into, though, right?
Because it has the most potential, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Like people are irresponsible with their money. We're not going to stop that. I mean, we're not here to be financial advisors or give financial advice. But, you know, for me, it's the reason why I bring up situations like that, bring up ideas like that, is to compare to Kathy Wood, who just said that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million by 2030. So that's where I come in. I say, well, okay, if that is true, if that reality is real, what's going to be the cost of a loaf of bread? What's going to be the cost of a gallon of gasoline? And
And
how much is
what's going
XRP
to be
going
the
to be
cost of
worth in that
XRP?
reality?
Yeah.
Right? Because
But
so
let
what's
people
wrong with
find.
doing that?
See, I don't agree with the FOMO approach. I don't agree with the FOMO approach at all. I don't agree with telling people that it's going to go to $1 million without actually giving them the breakdowns of how it's going to reach
Well,
there.
yeah, but here's the interesting thing about XRP that makes it unique to the rest of the space is that it actually got in a lawsuit with the SEC and delisted from all these exchanges. So some people aren't able to buy XRP right now. So yeah, like they could have bought XRP back when it was listed on their exchange and it might have been over $1 and they could be down on their bags if they did, but not right now they aren't able to buy any XRP. So that's why it's not a matter of FOMO, but it's a matter of reality that even if someone has a serious allocation that they want to make to XRP, it's challenging to right now because of the exchanges and all the issues there.
See, there's two things there. So the SEC agreed. The SEC have pulled the actual XRP token into the whole realms of what it's going through with the actual court case itself. We already know the Howey test, right? There's three parts of that statement with the Howey test itself, and they've already passed the third part, which is the one where you've got the profit. Everybody knew that it was going to make profit off it. They already passed this. They passed it in 2015 with the DOJ itself. They already know that. That's the reason why they're now they're fighting with the SEC with the second part, which is the is it a common marketplace, which is the part in which they're actually fighting right now in the court case. I get this, but while the rest of the world is actually running, while the US has got this thing in lockdown and not able to sell it, they've gone around the world. They've got loads of new banks, they've got loads of new customers, they've got loads of new XRPL private ledgers running around. They're testing all of that, but we've not seen an increase in the XRP token itself. That's not down to the fact of it's not of value. It's down to the fact that Ripple is mainly getting the customers and they're about to IPO themselves. Ripple as a company, as a software company, are going to be worth a lot of money. Now that's Ripple itself, not the XRP token. Ripple are currently announcing everything all over the news and everything to get their IPO to a level where they're actually going to be
Why would
alongside
they
of
spend
IBM and SAP.
$100 million on the lawsuit if they didn't believe in XRP? Why would they spend $100 million in that lawsuit
Oh
if
no,
they
no,
didn't
they
believe?
believe in it. They believe in it. But at the end of the
Okay,
day, they believe in the token. I mean, they already came out in
right.
2019 and said that actual full ODL is going to be based around the XRP token itself. And I agree,
Yeah.
Zach. There's no denying that the value of XRP needs to go up. There is no denying it because I've done the math. There is an actual on the math itself with the XRP token. It actually has a point of failure as well. The ODL becomes of non-value at a certain point. So to have all these banks on it, to have all these transactions on, the lowest price that I've actually looked at, the lowest price XRP could actually go to without the ODL breaking down and not becoming usable would be around about 15 cents. Then they'd need to release from escrow and get more market cap that way. So there is a low point, but there's also got to be a high point because there's 100 billion tokens out there and they can release from the escrow. I mean, they were supposed to release 55 billion in the last 58 months and they only released 10 billion and put the rest back into escrow because they wanted to keep the market at that value for that price, which is where we've seen the stabilized value for XRP token itself. But again, the US being in lockdown has not stopped the rest of the world adopting XRP and XRPL. So the actual court case isn't a valid argument against the price pump and the price value at the moment. I hear you though, it will go up based on the value when it comes out of the XRP court case with the SEC. And that's going to be good for every single token out there because the SEC have been using every single token they've pulled in as a shakedown ability to make money for themselves. But I'm not actually justifying the reason for the Howey test on the tokens themselves. And I hear you though, Zach. I do hear you.
Well, the reason why I brought that up though is to bring up the fact that for some people they can't, like, it's difficult for them to buy XRP right now. So that's not getting people to FOMO in. That's just the realistic situation right now is that it's tough for some people to get XRP. And even if they have the ability to buy on an exchange like Uphold or something, there's limits on how much you can, buy. And so that's the situation that XRP is in. The rest of the crypto space is not in. So when you think about that. And
I hear
that's
you.
not an excuse for price. I don't care about price. The reason why price is still low is because the utility hasn't been unlocked. It hasn't been set free. They've only moved $30 billion on on-demand liquidity so far. That's nothing. That
Over
that
12
explains
years.
why the price is still so low, is because they've only done 30 billion in on-demand liquidity so far. They're still getting it ramped up and going. And we're nowhere near our potential.
See, that's the reason why I'm looking at the ODL, right? And this has been my conversation piece for quite a while when I'm looking at the XRP itself. So XRPL is where I focused first, right? This is the thing that they're selling to everybody. The actual XRPL, the ledger, right? And when you go and look at the ledger, it's only broken down by the burn rate of the drops themselves, the 10, the 15 drops, all the way up to 350 drops if it's an escrow account. So when you're actually looking at the burn rate, which is why even though we've done 20 billion or 30 billion that you've just said there, they've only burnt off 11 million XRP tokens during that, because the actual burn rate of the XRP token on the XRPL is very minuscule. It lasts about 3,000 years at the current burn rate, right? We again done that maths. The ODL itself, which is what you're talking about, which is the 20-30 billion, is the place where I'm focusing now when I'm looking at this technology, because I want to figure out how it actually works. Is it going to be using escrow accounts? Is it just based on the actual liquidity? I mean, the definition of liquidity within inside this crypto space is actually fluctuating. The definition of liquidity, because it changes depending on who you talk to and where you talk. So
well,
again,
see,
the crypto space itself is messed up right now with definitions.
yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's what I'm trying to do, is bring clarity. And for me, I just listened to Ripple and Brad, and I listened to the team explain it to me, because they're actually implementing it. And Brad, I don't know, you probably didn't catch this, but Brad just stated that they don't even put the escrow on their balance sheet. On Ripple's balance sheet, they do not include the XRP that's in escrow. And
Do you know what?
furthermore,
That
they do not use the XRP in escrow for on-demand liquidity. They can't. It's locked up. Now, to your point, they could go to a bank, a
that's
financial
interesting.
institution, or some market maker, or anybody for that matter, and they could cut a deal with them to allocate them a portion of the XRP escrow account. But right now, they are not using the escrow account, right? And like you said, they're returning 80% of the escrow every month back into the escrow,
Yep.
right? So, and then Brad just said that they don't even include the escrow accounts on their balance sheet. So until the XRP gets unlocked from the escrow and then actually kept in Ripple's accounts, they do not include it on their balance sheet. Does that mean that they couldn't go to an institution and say, okay, we will allocate you 1 billion XRP at this given price if you decide to use on-demand liquidity? Absolutely. But until it's released, it's not on Ripple's balance sheet, and it's not being used for on-demand liquidity. And then, go ahead.
No, drop that. Do you know what though, Zach? I like what you just said there about the on demand, the escrow accounts not being on. Brad said that the non-circulating supply, the escrow accounts aren't on the balance sheet, which says to me that they can be on the balance sheet. So when I'm looking at the other technologies and they've got, do you know what I'm saying? The fact that Brad's turned around and said it's not on the balance sheet gives the possibility for other coins out there and other tokens to actually put them on the balance sheet. So that in itself is something I've learned from here today. I thought that there was a possibility of it being the non-circulating supply being on the balance sheet as unrealized assets. I've always thought that was a possibility. The 10 oranges to 10, if I take 10 oranges to sell, then I've got 10 oranges in my bank. I can still raise assets against those. And the fact Brad's come out and said that it's not on his balance sheet gives me a better idea of what the rest of the actual tokenized world's actually up to with their non-circulating supply. So that's useful knowledge, mate. I appreciate that. But then that also kills off about 3 of my ODL options. So that takes me back down to about 4.
So you're an
still
option
4
4
versions.
guy. You're an option 4 guy.
No. There's 4 options for ODL. I haven't done an actual option videos on this. The actual options themselves are based on the price value ranges, but not the ODLs. I'm still learning, man. I'm still learning.
Well, so here's my thing. I understand I've made very hyped videos about XRP, but I have my reasoning, right? I have my reasoning because I'm listening to who I view as the most transparent people and company within the cryptocurrency space, and Ripple. I see the most transparency from them. I see the most amount of partnerships. with people that matter. Not, oh, we're building a blockchain gaming token. We got this little cute partnership. No, they're actually showing us now. They have on-demand liquidity in 40 countries now versus 4 back in 2020. So that's considerable growth. 40 countries now with on-demand liquidity, and they have exposure to 90% of FX cross-border payment markets. Okay, so that's great. But when we look at the actual volume that they've actually settled on-demand liquidity, it's only 30 billion. Now, when I saw that, I was like, that's great. Okay, wow, they've settled 30. But then you look at the overall payments infrastructure and how much money is moved on a daily basis, and it's like, well, if we're being real here, they haven't even gotten started. I mean, moving 30 billion over the course of years is nothing, right? But that explains why the XRP token is low now, and that's the opportunity for us, is that we can invest in something before that utility and liquidity picks up. Now, is that too hype? Is it not hype enough? We'll tell. We'll be able to tell, when this story's all said and done. But I think that where you got the wrong view of me is someone who's just blindly hyping XRP for views, for content, for whatever my reasoning may be, and that's not where I'm coming from.
No. The problem I've got is I've FOMO'd into quite a lot of projects based on people on TikTok telling me things are going to be 10,000, 100 million, whatever the fuck price people have actually said on these things, going to 100x everything else. And the problem I've got is influencers out there now, which is the reason why I've started doing this, is they're quick to say there's going to be this increase, and they leave you with that subliminal hit of the endorphins, the possibility, and that's the difference between influencing and educating. You influencing a psychological response to your actual videos. So if I give 156 trillion and then said take 1% of that and then close the video, I'm now going to think, fuck me, that's going to be a lot of money, and that's going to be the psychological response on a person is to FOMO in. And with your other video, where we're talking about the fact that you've got all these billions of dollars going through, and if Kathy, whatever her name was, said about the $1 million Bitcoin, and then you turn around and say, what's XRP going to do? The endorphins are going to kick in, the brain's going to start thinking, and you just cut your video off and you leave them thinking that. And that's the FOMO side. That's what I'm saying to you. That's the danger of just the FOMO side of the videos themselves, in which you're encapsulating. And you've got a lot of followers, Zach. You've got a lot of followers.
I understand what you're saying, but for me, when I make a 15-second little TikTok clip like that, it's not that I just leave that clip and leave them hanging with that. I explain every day in my daily content why I believe in what I've invested in and why I believe in XRP. It's not that I make a 15-second clip and just leave it on that. I make that clip, but then they could go watch my live stream tonight, tomorrow, the next day, where I'm explaining what's going on. So I don't just leave it at that. But to go further in my defense, let's compare two different deals here.
Okay.
When you see other people, other influencers in the space who are pushing projects that, one, they're paid to push. I've never done a paid sponsorship ever, on God. Never done a paid sponsorship, period. But you got other influencers that are getting paid to push. Let's Paradox. Let's bring up that one. Bunch of Paradox pushers, right? They are pushing that because, one, they're paid to, and two, based off of the video game being cool. And, this is going to be a cool game, and this feature and that feature, versus what I'm doing where I'm not being paid. And two, I'm saying, hey, think about this and look at the real numbers. That is a real number. Now, is it speculation? Is it theorizing? Yes, but it's based off of a real number versus, hey, get into this project because there's going to be a bunch of users because this game is so badass and sweet, versus real data. Here's the real data. And I'm going to leave it up to the community to speculate, theorize on how much of this market you think we can get. There's two different realities there.
Like I said, it's a psychological response, mate. And if you're actually taking into account, I'm not going to mention that project. I've already done enough on that project. And to be fair, if everybody's watched other videos about that project already from the actual owner, you'll understand. So I'm not mentioning that project at all anymore. It's not getting no more airtime from me. There's a psychological response for most of the projects themselves. And I appreciate the fact that Ripple doesn't pay influencers at all. But the thing is that when the actual court case is over and you're able to buy in the US, we're all expecting that this coin to pump, right? That is a massive expectation. So if you FOMO everybody in on the day that it's going to be out of the court case, then we're all going to be guaranteed that this thing's going to pump. That's the psychological response to the actual court case ending, and basically everybody believing that this thing's going to go to $1 million. I mean, that guy was the developer from Zinfin, by the way, that said $1 million. I was laughing my head off when I saw that. Got a lot of hate from that video as well, because I was laughing at a developer for XTC saying that it could go to $1 million. But there's a responsibility that we have to people when we're looking at investments, and when we're looking at investments themselves, there's also laws and regulations that are coming through, which the SEC are now looking at, which is the reason why we've got people like with the Kardashians getting fined and things like that, because these are financial products at the end of the day. They will be deemed as financial products. So we have a responsibility to make sure that what we're doing to telling people is also not psychologically pushing them towards an investment which they shouldn't be involved in. Alexa, turn on the kitchen.
Yeah.
So when we come into those projects that you've just talked about there was vetting done on that project, Zach. There was vetting done on that project by the Crypto Knights. Unfortunately, there was certain vetting that was obviously missed, but we won't go there. But they do. But everyone makes mistakes, mate. Everyone makes mistakes. So it's down to whether or not they actually reform the way that they actually get paid for shilling, right?
Yeah. Well, and here's the difference too: is I talked about XRP, the potential of it, how great it could be. But I'm also one of the most transparent influencers in the space. I would really argue that I am one of the most transparent in the space. And I tell everyone my exit strategy for XRP, which is so simple. Because I acquired my bags at a very cheap price and I've had them for a while, I'm exiting, 5% of my bag at about $10, and I'm exiting about another 5% at $20. So although I talk about the potential for XRP to capture these markets and go to 3, 4, 5 digits, I also back that up with my exit strategy that is based off of reality, like not based off of hopes and dreams, but taking some profits along the way. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just everyone should hold all of their XRP because it's for sure going to 10K. I've never said that.
Like I said, the way in which
dog, by the way.
Cheers. You just went. See, I've got this to deal with. Look, I was just looking at me as if to say, "When's the next treat? When's the next dinner?" Go away. Go and play. Sorry, I've got a phone call coming through. I'll just decline that. So yeah, I hear you, Zach. I hear you. It's just that's the reason why I call you the option 3 guy, because there's no way. When I come off of your videos, that I don't feel like you're option 3 in. If you actually look at the way your psychological response comes out of it, and the FOMO and the amount of money and everything else, it's an option 3. It's a 10K and over video on TikTok.
Right. What are we both trying to achieve, though? We're both trying to get views, conversation, comments, a discussion, debate, and that's what you're doing too, right? We're both trying to achieve the same thing. Yours are trying to crack the code with on-demand liquidity, XRP, trying to prove it, but we're both trying to get the same thing out of our audience. And I don't think that my way is wrong, because I'm just sharing real data. If I said, oh, guys, I think, we could for sure capture half of this market or whatever, that would be misleading, because I'd say for sure. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying, guys, the market's this big. If we were to capture 1% of that, we would have, $1 trillion running through the ledger. That's real numbers. That's a scenario and a possibility.
But okay, I'm not denying this, Zach. And to be honest with you, the way in which you came at me with the new character unlock DH, I've been battling these guys down. Do you remember that video?
Yeah.
Yes, and I've been trying to prove that I'm not here to actually do XRP a disservice. I'm actually trying to prove that XRP is going to be one of the long-lasting actual technologies out there. This is the difference in my style. I prefer to teach the tech. I prefer to teach people to actually understand what they're going to be involved in, what they're actually going to be part of, and the technological breakthrough in which they're actually going to be initiated in. If they buy this token now, what's the actual value going to be? That's the difference between myself and yourself. I'm not too bothered. Well, no offense, I am actually bothered about the value because I've got big bags in it as well. But you've probably got way more in it than me. But I've still got bags involved with XRP. I want the price to go up because obviously I want to be a multimillionaire too. And don't get me wrong, I do want the $10,000 one. Who wouldn't? Who the hell wouldn't? I want boats and hoes. I think that's been a constant joke on my XRP live stream. But joking aside, the difference is between myself and you is I prefer to teach the tech. I do 3-minute videos. I don't sit there going this price, and do a crypto sage with the.
Well, to be fair, I've been on TikTok for almost 2 years, and when I got started, that's what I was focused on. I was focused on explaining the XRP ledger and how the tech worked from a simple standpoint and view, because I'm not technologically literate. I'm stupid when it comes to the tech, but that's what I did is I broke it down for people to have a simple understanding of it when I got started. Now that I'm 2 years into this, I don't really spend much time on the tech anymore. To me, the technology speaks for itself, and it's already been proven. For the new people that are trying to learn, I guess that it's good that there's guys like you out there that are breaking it down. But in my defense, when I first got going, a lot of my content was about the tech and what made XRP different from the rest of the crypto space.
See, 12 years, Zach, 12 years. This has been my constant conversation in all my lives. 12 years, nobody's actually come up with a straight and forward ODL. I've done the research, I'm looking at the ODL, 12 years that this technology has been around, but there's no actual straightforward video on what an ODL is. Nobody's asked the question. Everybody's just tried to get an ODL version that suits their actual interpretation of what they've read. But nobody's actually looked and actually tried to find out what.
This is the thing. It's really simple because you have it. You have the equation, but it's up to your assumptions and speculation on what numbers to input into that equation. The equation is very simple. It's the supply of tokens you have, how quickly can you turn them over or reuse them, and what price does it need to be at to give you that value amount that you can move on the ledger. Now,
but then
how much supply do you have, and how quick? We can all agree probably on how quickly you can turn them over. You've probably already done the calculation, right? Yeah. But then we got to go look back at the supply, and that's something that a lot of people get wrong, is they think that there's going to be 100 billion tokens to use. There will never be 100 billion tokens to use. Right now, there's 50 billion in quote-unquote circulation, but like you've said, there's 30 billion or so that's probably held by us.
We own it.
Right. Yep. And we're not giving up our XRP to use. So that brings the real supply to use for on-demand liquidity back down to 5 billion, 10 billion, maybe, right? So there's your supply, how quickly you can turn it over, and what price you need to be at. You have it. That's what ODL is.
Which is why I was asking how much does actually Ripple hold? Because when you actually break down the 156 trillion that you said in your video, it broke it down and actually looked at it. It was only 20 million every 4 seconds required to actually run through the XRPL itself. And for 20 million, that was equivalent to around about, I think it was 13 million tokens. I can't remember off the video itself, but there's only a certain amount of XRP tokens needed. So when we're actually talking about increasing the price of XRP, the value can go up. So the less amount of XRP is needed. But again, it comes down to how much they have. And the other way to look at this is if we start buying more and more of these tokens and stop them being in circulation for Ripple, would that then force the hand to be an increase in price? I mean, this is all the strategizing that I want to actually look at.
It has to.
Want to get the breakdown. But
it has to be at a high
but it's down to figuring out what the ODL is next, and then the next one is to strategize how to actually get a market price increase of the actual XRP tokens, so we can go from an option 1 to an option 3. So I'm trying to just break it down.
The other thing too, let's think about this, because this is what we're doing is trying to figure this out, right? But XRP hasn't had smart contracts really, and it hasn't had NFTs yet until now. And every NFT that's minted is going to burn XRP. Every XRP meme token that's built on the XRP ledger, and every utility on the XRP ledger will burn tokens. So yeah, we've only burned however many so far, but we haven't really even gotten started with the utility. So that's another factor that you got to consider as well.
Can we both agree here right now this minute in front of your audience and mine that the XRPL is now not a cross-border payment system? It's a multifunctioning ledger system.
Yeah,
because
100%.
you just brought up the NFTs, right? The NFTs, the reason why they brought in the NFT technology into the XRPL ledger itself was because they want to get into the tokenized asset market. The pictures and the NFTs that are currently in place right now they're just for show. That's the starting base for the technology itself. But the actual real money is in the tokenized asset world, which is why they partnered up with the actual real estates, right? So you're actually going to be looking at the real estate values going through with the tokenized assets. So your burn rate of the XRP token and the need for it is going to be increasing just based on the NFT technology alone. I'm there, Zach. Don't get me wrong. I hear what you're saying.
We are going to get rich. XRP is going to go to 10K.
Option 3. Seriously, buddy, you're in option 3. I say this all the time. You're in option 3. See, I'm a realist and I believe in the market capability, but I do also agree that the market cap is going to have to increase. It's going to need to go to around about 5 trillion for XRP itself. I think the tokens, if I was going off my own research and my own advice, I'd be looking at around about $100 in XRP to actually make it a viable, workable, functioning system. Would be $100.
And our lives are changed to $10 XRP.
Exactly. $10. So there's no need to push the 10K analogy, though, is there?
You're creating way too much FOMO. You're creating way too much FOMO. No.
I'm putting the actual algorithms out there on my videos for everybody to see the breakdown. See, I did business analysis, mate. And you don't go to the manager with one option, you go to them with all of the options and let them decide. The best way to actually get people to figure things out themselves is give them every option possible and let them decide themselves on which one they believe is more realistic for them. And that's the way I've done my videos. I break it down in that way, and that's how we do my lives as well.
So, in conclusion, how high is XRP going to go?
I think, personally, from my own research, I've got to say this because otherwise they're going to ban me for financial advice and all that bollocks. But personally, I think we're looking at $10 to $30 with the current market cap, because $30 would take it to the same market cap as what Bitcoin was with 1.5 trillion. And then once it goes past 30, then you're looking at a higher adoption and higher increase. And then we might actually see the 5 trillion market cap on XRP itself, which would be then at around about $100.
I'm reaching for my phone because you're making me FOMO into XRP right now. I'm going to have to buy some right now.
It's not about FOMO, mate. It's about doing the maths and doing the logic.
How life-changing is that opportunity, though, for people? You know what I'm saying?
For most people, yeah. For most people.
And that's what I mean is what's wrong with talking about, hey, guys, what if we do capture 1% of this $156 trillion market? What's wrong if we get 1% of the derivatives market?
The problem I've got with doing 10,000, 100,000 is people are not filling their fridges at the current moment in time. They're not filling the fridges and they're spending money on shit that they don't need to buy right now because they think that when the court case is over, it's going to go straight in. And we don't know when the court case is over. We don't know when anything's going to be over. We are just making pure guesses. And the minute you start talking 10,000, 100,000 a token, people are going to FOMO in there and they will stop that. They won't eat. They won't put the heating on. They will think that this is going to be life-altering, money-changing tokens that are going to change the world. So they will actually not feed themselves and put that into XRP, and then they're sitting there. I mean, how long have we been waiting now for the XRP court case to finish?
Now, I would be guilty of that.
That's the danger.
And I would be guilty of that if I hadn't already put out a recession to-do list back at the beginning of this year, and the first item was prepping and essentials. And do you know, I've been talking about this for over 2 years now. You know how unpopular it was during the crypto bull run last year to be talking about prepping? I've been telling people that this supply chain crisis wasn't going to get fixed. Inflation was going to get worse. Inflation's not going to get fixed. So I would be guilty of that if I was not talking about that too. But I have been. You probably haven't seen it because you just caught on to my content. But I've been talking about that. That's been a huge part. My Discord group has whole sections about prepping. I've done whole webinars and classes for my community on prepping and essentials. Not to be crazy preppers, but because the situation is real. I launched a business development program because I'm trying to help people start their side business and get their businesses going. So I would be guilty of just being a FOMO hyper, but I've dropped all the other content too, and I've been saying it for over a year now.
So if I go to the search engine in TikTok and type in XRP 10K, whose faces would I see?
The best in the game. The best in the game.
I'm just going to leave that point right there. At the moment, right? The option three is plausible if there's so many things, there's so many variables around it that we don't actually know if Brad Garlinghouse can even do. What's the question? Where did the link for the gold come from? Where did the link to actually join XRP as a stablecoin to gold? Because that one I still can't figure out.
There's a lot of people that think that XRP has to be backed by gold. There was like early XRP insiders and stuff that made that suggestion in theory. The thing is though, is XRP doesn't have to be backed by gold. It can be backed by the utility on the network and the liquidity. The liquidity of the network is the real value. And gold can be represented on the XRP ledger. It's one of the best ledgers for tokenizing gold and precious metals. So I think that there's confusion because people think that 1 ounce of gold is going to be equal to 1 XRP, and XRP is going to be 10K, and an ounce of gold is going to be worth 10K. I do believe that gold's been heavily suppressed. Gold will, I think, eventually move up to a higher price. But I don't think that it's going to be 1 ounce of gold equals 1 XRP. I don't believe in that theory.
Because in my life before you joined, I was having the same conversation with everybody else. The fact of if it was a stablecoin and it's supposed to be linked with gold, then that would put XRP to a total of 1,750. I got corrected earlier. So it's 1,750. But then if you're 10K and over, that would mean it needs to be stablecoin to about 5 ounces of gold. Again, this then creates a fourth option where we're actually linking to a commodity value, which I know the US is currently in the laws now to actually do. But again, that kind of cuts down to 1,600 an XRP token, doesn't it? The same people that are screaming the 10K are also the same people that are screaming that it can be linked to gold. The two don't mix.
The problem is everyone's valuing crypto, gold, everything against the US dollar. That's the main problem. And, they tell us that the CPI data tells us that they're getting inflation under control, but that's not true. And so that's where I think the reset, restructuring, and revaluation comes in is a lot of these assets are going to have to be reset, restructured, and revalued as the currencies fall. So, for example, gold is back to basically all-time high in other currency pairs against like the British pound, against the euro, against the Japanese yen.
I'm still there, Zach. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're in my ear, mate. Apologies.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining and watching this live. Having a fun chat here with Dark Horse. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So basically, if you look, gold against US dollars, it's still, a ways off of the all-time high. But if you look at gold paired up against other currencies, it's already back at all-time high. So that's and people get confused if gold's on the ledger and represented on the XRP ledger. That doesn't mean that XRP is backed by gold. It just means that gold's value can move on the XRP ledger.
So it's that whole theory about XRP being linked to gold. There is no actual link to any sort of documentation or any sort of facts written anywhere, or that you know from your extensive. I mean, you've been in this a lot longer than me.
No.
Of course, so unprofessional. I'm sorry, mate. I put the kettle on. I'm thirsty.
No, I think actually gold's already on the ledger, represented on the ledger, but you're going to be able to move anything of value on that ledger. And the idea that XRP has to be backed by gold, I think that people just don't understand that the liquidity XRP is going to provide is the main utility there that's going to back the value of XRP.
Perfect. So between us, we can squash that whole, it's going to be backed by a stable commodity? In our process of elimination, we can actually, between the
It's
two of us, we can
well,
say it's not going to be backed by gold.
here's the thing though, is it's going to be backed by anything that runs on the ledger, which is where the XDC developer that you're talking about, Quincy Jones, that's what he was breaking down, is that
Quincy Jones, that was his name. Thank
whatever
you.
value, anything of value that's put on the ledger will help back XRP. So if someone tokenizes, or let's just say a meme token on the XRP ledger is going to back the value of XRP. An NFT project on the XRP ledger is going to back the value of XRP. And if gold were to be put on the XRP ledger, that's going to...
You're basically putting the value at the top of the XRPL ledger by the node. You're converting the value that you're putting into XRP, and it's not actually backed by, it's just that is the value that you're putting at the top to actually come out the bottom, and then you're going to be taking it out of. So I hear what you're saying, but they're still not technically backed by anything. It's not come out the bottom, and then you're going to be taking it out of. So I hear what you're saying, but they're still not technically backed by anything.
It's not a direct backing. It's not a direct backing.
Yeah, so it's not a commodity. It's not a commodity-backed token, and this is what I'm trying to actually get to the bottom of. Is a commodity. It's not a commodity-backed token, and this is what I'm trying to actually get to the bottom of. Is it can, if this goes into option 2, which is a stable coin, which is, like I said, all 3 options are available. Option 2 is a stable coin, and that's the commodity-based backing one. And if that's a commodity-based backing one, then it's going to be backed by gold, silver, which is everybody else's thought process. So, but can we, between us, agree that there is no information out there from Brad Garlinghouse that says that this is going to be backed by gold?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we can straight up say that option 2 with the gold thing is irrelevant.
I mean, it's still going to 10K, but yeah, it's not backed by gold.
Fair play, Zach. Fair play. Like I said, nobody's wrong and nobody's right in this, mate. That's why I put all options out there. You can still be wrong. You can still be wrong and still be right at the same time.
Well, here's where I've been wrong. Is I thought this shit was gonna have pumped way sooner. I thought that this case was gonna be way sooner. So as far as what have I been wrong about, I've been wrong about that. You know, I thought that the lawsuit was going to be over way sooner. I thought the XRP was going to pump last bull run. It didn't. I was wrong about that. But everything's still at play. That's the thing, is everything's still at play with XRP, and I'm still as comfortable as ever in my XRP holdings because I know what I hold.
Do you think the IPO of Ripple will change their actual XRP holdings themselves?
Will the Ripple IPO change the price of XRP? Is that what you're asking?
Yep. Do you think XRP will go up based on the release of Ripple as a stock?
Yeah, that'll probably be a pump event leading up to it, or right when it happens. That's actually something that people should be careful about. I would say is when Ripple does IPO, that could see. This is the thing, and I've been very clear with what's going to occur is going to melt faces. It's going to be insane. Even if it just goes to $10, people are going to be going nuts. But they're setting us up to do us really dirty because we're going to get a pump to $10 back down to $2, pump to $20 back down to $4. And so I've been very clear about that. Ripple IPO could be a similar situation with XRP, where XRP pumps very hard on that news and then corrects pretty hard afterwards.
See, with Ripple actually wanting the banks, I mean, they've applied for a bank in Ireland. They've applied for a bank license in Wyoming as well. And also with the release of the USDS stablecoin from Stably in Seattle on the actual Ripple network itself as well.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be gunning for the fact that in America it's going to be taken on, right? There is no denying the fact that Ripple is going to be moving into the US, even if they lose that case. So running off those points entirely, we're looking at a Ripple bank, aren't we? And therefore, if we're looking at a Ripple bank, then their actual stable coin it won't be the stable coin, it'll be their own personal coin, which is the XRP token, but they're going to be changing that down. I mean, I don't know, you can't see because you joined a live one, but there's XRpid, and I think Bruce was talking about another type of token as well. So Ripple are already looking at 2 new tokens on top of the XRP token itself.
That's not true. It's not true. So
What's stopping them? What's stopping them from actually
no,
producing more tokens like Binance does? Because they're already DEX, they're going to become a bank. They're probably going to create their own CBDC once they've become a bank, and
well,
then they're going to be
if they were
basically.
going to do that, if that was their plan, they would have just left the lawsuit behind. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't have dropped 100 million on the lawsuit to fight over XRP's clarity. If they
No,
had planned.
there's a reason why they fought this, because if they get pulled in for one token, they're going to get pulled in for more tokens. So if they don't get if they get shook down now and then they go release more tokens, they're going to be pulled in for the sec again. The whole point of them fighting is they actually had a big war chest to actually do this. And I'm not being funny. Everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves an underdog. And when they went around the world saying, "Look, we're fighting the sec. What do you think about this?" They went, "No, we don't care." And that got them more customers and built up their brand around the world, knowing that they were fighting the US to start off with. It was a big marketing ploy, and it was an amazing tactic for them. Everybody loves an underdog.
Well, here's the thing: people get confused, and this is I've seen and I've watched some of your conversations that you've been having, and people are very confused on this. So we need to set this clear. On-demand liquidity is part of RippleNet, okay? But on-demand liquidity exclusively settles in XRP. RippleNet does not. There used to be XCurrent, XVIA, X this, X that, and it was all part of RippleNet. But after Ripple put out on-demand liquidity and started selling on-demand liquidity with exclusively XRP, what happened was all of their on-demand liquidity clients are settling now with XRP, but then they still have their RippleNet clients which aren't settling with XRP. And as of last year, I believe, or recently, I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but basically only 25% of their RippleNet clients were using on-demand liquidity selling with XRP. So they have 400 banks and financial institutions. Only about 100 of those are using on-demand liquidity. So there's only two things that people need to understand, right? Is that Ripple on-demand liquidity exclusively uses XRP, but not all of their RippleNet clients are on-demand liquidity.
Okay, bear with me, Zach. Guys, just for anybody that's commenting, please understand you're firing off loads of comments, and because it's this methodology, I only get to see like one line at a time. Your comments aren't being filtered; it's just they're running so quick. So apologies if you're not getting answered. Zach, there's the missing Genesis block as well. What's your thoughts on that?
Jed McCaleb was involved, so who knows? There's no telling what went down there.
35,000 blocks totally missing from the starting point of the XRP token itself. That's the actual production of the first 100 billion of the XRP tokens. That's what we know that was produced. So with that being in the missing Genesis block, the actual creation of the tokens themselves, there could actually be more tokens out there. Are you not worried?
No, because once again, Ripple and Brad would not be doing what they're doing if there was problems with this ledger, if there's problems with XRP. No. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying, Brad's not just saying, oh no, we still like XRP. Understand what just happened in Q3 of this year. Ripple went to the secondary markets and spent 2.5 billion cash to go buy XRP. So if they aren't having doubt about XRP, why should I? You know what I'm saying?
Because, I mean, I'm just saying, right, because I think exactly the same as you, but Crypto Never Sleeps is always, I don't know if you've seen him in America as well. Crypto Never Sleeps is one of the biggest ones against the XRP tokens themselves, and claims that the Genesis block is one of the major reasons why he won't invest, because a missing Genesis block means that coins could automatically turn up, or it actually shows a fault in the actual system itself.
Here's the beautiful thing about the XRP ledger. If that were the case, okay, Genesis block gets unlocked, there's another 100 billion tokens. The validators just vote to cancel that out. That's all that happens. If the Genesis block comes back up and it's an issue, there's way more tokens, all that has to be done is that the validators just vote to burn them. Very simple, done.
It's a consensus system, isn't it? It's a consensus system, which is actually run on the voting system. I agree as well.
Yeah. So I haven't looked too deep on what happened there with that Genesis issue, but that's where I'm at with it. Is the network so mature and developed at this point that if something like that were to come back up from 10 years ago, all of the validators would just say, get bent, basically, and burn that off. in my opinion, that's what would happen. Yeah.
I'm just going off some of the questions I'm getting in the chat now. So apologies, Zach. Have you guys got any more questions for while we've got the great man himself here?
So we've agreed on 10K XRP. That's good. We understand what on-demand liquidity is.
That
that's
value.
good.
We will never agree on that, Zach. That is one thing we won't agree, and we won't agree on FOMO in it either.
Well,
that is the difference between our styles.
The life-changing opportunity is completed at $10 XRP for most of us, though. That's the thing, right? And here's another thing
it doesn't
that
need to be 10K, does it?
What's that?
It doesn't need to be 10K to be life altering.
No,
it doesn't need to be. I mean, even if it went to its all-time high of $3.80, that's still quite life altering if you've got a nice enough bag.
And here's something that I've always said: I don't think that people need to have to hold on to their XRP forever. If that's going to be part of your generational wealth strategy, then okay, that's fine. Maybe you're going to. Well, what my plan is very simple, and I've always put this out there: sell 5% of my bag at $10, another 5% at $20, and the rest of my bag I plan on leveraging, using as collateral for loans to go buy businesses and real estate. A lot of people have a similar plan. There are people that plan on selling 100% of their XRP at $10 because they're 65 years old and they want to retire. Like they want to actually have money for retirement. And so I don't beat up anybody over that. And I'm not one of those that's like, if you sell XRP at $10, you're committing blasphemy. Like, I think a lot of people get confused about that with how bullish and how much I believe and hype XRP up. If your life circumstances and life situation is going to be changed enough and you're going to be done here in 10, 20 years and you just want to cash out your $1 million and be done, then God bless you.
Again, I don't deny anything of what you just said there. I mean, anybody can take out whatever price that's actually on there. I mean, we're in this to make money, right? We are in this to make money. The difference is that the way that in which we try and get people into projects, as we say, is different. So you believe in your 10K. I'll leave you as an option 3 guy. I'll leave you as an option 3. Like I said, it's not insulting. It's just there's an option 1, option 2, and an option 3. But the psychological impact of an option 3 has a higher impact on the way that people FOMO in, because the belief on the 10K to 1 million K is a very powerful notion, especially around about Christmas when you're actually thinking, do I put money on the table? Do I put food on the table, or do I put money onto XRP hoping that it comes out at 10K? That's the reason why I do not like these sort of 10K videos.
Yeah, I understand.
That's why I don't believe in them, especially around about this sort of time as well. Especially when we're on massive dips and the whole market is actually collapsing around FTX, and yet we're still out there trying to pump certain tokens rather than teach the tech. That's what I try and do, teach the tech. And yes, I get it wrong, Zach. I do get it wrong quite a lot of the times. I mean, the amount of times I've posted a video and then I've had loads of people going, Lee, you're wrong. This needs to be changed. And then I sit on my lives with the guys and we change it and we alter it and we put it back together again. That's the whole point of the lives and then doing the videos. But I don't pretend to be right on anything. It's actually an amalgamation for everybody that's actually in my lives that we actually create this teaching the tech. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us anyway, Zach.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the conversation. The main reason why I wanted to come on is because there's a lot of confusion about me, where I'm coming from. And a lot of people just see, some of my hype XRP videos and don't understand like my backing and how I'm on one side of me, I'm talking about XRP changing the world. On the other side, I'm telling people to get your essentials, your prep, have some extra food and be prepared for this situation that we're in. So I just wanted to come on and kind of clear that up. And then for me, I think, guys like you that are talking about the tech, that's great. But it's for me, it's still speculation. You're still making assumptions. It's just you're saying that your assumptions are more realistic, which, that's just subjective. So at the end of the day, if you want to make assumptions that XRP price based off of your assumptions and speculation can only go to $30 ever, then that's fine, to each their own. I think. Oh, are you still there? Yeah.
I am. I've just got to a screen now where I can't seem to get off. TikTok did not design this very well. I'm sorry. I was trying to click on people's messages to read them, and I ended up. There we go. We're back. Sorry, apologies. TikTok need to redesign this app. They need to put the flip camera on the front as well to make it freaking easier, so we can flip cameras around. But the Zach, the difference I've got is I don't assume that I know everything, and the technology, teaching the technology, is giving people the foreknowledge and the ability to actually go and investigate themselves, dig out the white papers, look at the values themselves, and make up their own choices. I don't try and do the FOMO stuff. Bruce, you was going to ask a question, and mate, there's been so many messages. Can you ask it again, please, buddy? Oh, here we go. Sales point of view is transaction costs. What do you mean by that, Bruce? I'm sorry, Zach. While there's some questions, I've lost it. Right, mate. I've got like 3 minutes, and I've got to go to the gym. So,
no worries. Yeah.
Zach,
no.
Do you mind?
No, it's good conversation.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. I appreciate you giving me the time. I just wanted to kind of clear up where I'm coming from. I like what you're doing. I really encourage more conversations like this. Like, I'm not here to just be agreeing with everyone that I only want to talk to people that think XRP is going to go to 10K. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't think that's healthy for the space. So I wish you continued success, and maybe we'll have another conversation sometime.
I hope so. But can I just say, can I ask you a question? Do you agree that I'm not against XRP?
Yeah. No.
Thank you.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
You don't need to call me out anymore, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just TikTok bullshit. You know what I'm saying? New character unlocked. That's just having fun. That's just having fun for me.
Good.
Like, for me, I appreciate you allowing me to come on the platform and just have a straight up conversation, because I don't do the stitches back and forth and all that bullshit. Like that was a little bit of fun, but I like just coming on and having a man-to-man conversation.
It works for me, Zach, all the time, and you're welcome anytime. Appreciate you actually coming on. Guys, I'm sorry, I've got to go, because otherwise I'm going to be late because we're breaking down our, what's it called? Begins with AR. Algorand. We're breaking down Algorand tonight on our live, so I've got an hour and a half to go to the gym and come back for breaking down Algorand for everybody. So, Zach, awesome. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks very, very much for joining us. Guys, cheers for joining in.
Yeah.
Cheers, Zach.
Take care. All right, folks. So, you see how it goes. We've been doing this for a while. We've been doing this for a while. We're not new to this. And I think that there's just a lot of people have a misunderstanding of where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to, what kind of content I'm trying to make. It's not about FOMO. And like we both agree that XRP will eventually go to $10 to $30. So then we both agree on a life-changing opportunity. So what are we talking about with FOMO? I mean, yeah, we should have a little sense of urgency. It's not about spend your last $50 to buy XRP because it's going to moon tomorrow, right? So, we just got to, took the time today. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving. Just wanted to kind of clear that up. A lot of confusion in the space. And I just say, go listen to Ripple. Go listen to Brad and team. Yeah. Yep. You can't just rely on technical analysis when you're looking at XRP or any of these utility cryptocurrencies for that matter, especially the suppressed ones. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is people just see like one or two of my videos and they just think I'm some XRP hype guy. We're the complete opposite of that. Dude didn't even really have an argument. Funny how that works, huh? And that's the thing with like, well, what is on-demand liquidity? And how do we get to it? I'm like, dude, you have the equation, okay? You already have the equation. And you guys are just playing with the numbers all night long. And that's what I'm talking about is these guys want to hate on me because I bring up a scenario. Oh, if we get 1% of a $156 trillion network, what could the value be? Versus like just playing with the numbers in his own way every single night and still not even coming to an understanding of what on-demand liquidity is. Like, dude, you got it. You have the equation. It's the supply, the amount of tokens you have, how quickly can you turn them over and reuse them, and what price do those tokens need to be at so that you can move this amount of value. We've only moved 30 billion so far over the course of like 3-4 years the on-demand liquidity has been live. That's nothing. When we get to the point of moving $30 billion per day, when we get to the point of settling up trillions of dollars per day, what's going to happen? And at the end of the day, we both agree that XRP will go to a $10 or $30 price. It's like, bro, you're making me FOMO in right now. Debate Bare Naked Crypto, that would be epic. Bare Naked Crypto and I are friends, actually. We're pretty cool. A lot of respect back and forth between me and Bare Naked Crypto. A lot of respect. Same deal. You know, a lot of these guys, they just have a misunderstanding of me. They see the first, 1-2 videos, and obviously my XRP videos go viral and whatever. So they just get a misunderstanding of who I am. I'm the guy that put out the recession to-do list months ago, and the first thing was prepping before anything to do with crypto. The second thing was income. Start your side hustle, start your business, get your income up, figure out how you can get a raise at work, because we're going into a recession and we're not going to get out of it anytime soon. So I'm the guy that put out the recession to-do list. I'm the guy that was talking about prepping during a bull run. Very unpopular to do so. But, for me, I've always just tried to stay true to you guys. I think you guys know where I'm coming from, what we're about over here. And that's why we continue to grow our community. And I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah. So funny, huh? Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Max. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. And that's where I'm at, guys. It's like, if we for sure, like, everyone can agree that we have a life-changing opportunity to go to even $10 to $30, well, debating on going to 10K is just for fun, man. Crack open a cold one. Do whatever you want to do, and let's just have fun talking about it. Let's talk about the theories. Let's talk about the speculation that could lead us to that point. That's all fun. At the end of the day, we've stacked big enough bags that at $10, our life's changed. After that, it's all fun. How much XRP are you holding? Be honest. How much I'm holding really doesn't matter. It's a lot. All right, guys. Yeah. I almost didn't do this because I was taking time away. I'm in the middle of my XLM deep dive. I'm going to be dropping that later for you guys today. So make sure you guys are ready for that XLM deep dive. Make sure you guys, that's going to be dropping on my YouTube, by the way. So XLM deep dive, little Thanksgiving gift for you guys. Going to be dropping that here in a little bit. I'm about to record it. So I just want to say thank you. I'm so blessed and grateful for this community that we've been building out, guys. God bless you all. Hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Okay, Beth, thank you. Love you. Love you guys. Thank you guys. Echo to Truth. Echo to Truth. What's up, brother? What's my YouTube? The link in the bio will take you to my website. It's the same thing. It's Zach Rector. Just my name. All right, guys. Always putting in work. We are working on Thanksgiving Day. Absolutely. No days off. Keep it moving. But we are going to spend the whole rest of the day with family. So that's going to be really good. Got to take time for family. And we got to put in that work too. All right, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. God bless you all. Thank you.